Okay, let's talk about your website. Do you ever think of it as more than just, a digital business card? What if it could actually be your best employee? The one who never sleeps, never takes a day off, and is always working. Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. How to turn your website from a passive, pretty brochure into a full-on, active salesperson. Let's get into it.
So right away, you can see there are two totally different ways to think about this. Over on one side, you've got the brochure. Yeah, it looks nice. It's got your logo, your contact info, but honestly, it just sits there, waiting. Then you've got the salesperson. This is something else entirely. It's dynamic. It's proactive. It's actually engaging with people, figuring out what they need, and nudging them in the right direction 24/7. So be honest with yourself for a second. Which one sounds more like your website right now?
So many businesses fall into what I call the brochure website trap. And look, it's an easy mistake to make. For the longest time, that's kind of all a website was supposed to be. But today, in this market, it is a huge missed opportunity.
So, what's the real problem here? What does this all boil down to? It's a focus on presentation instead of persuasion. These sites are awesome at listing what you do, showing off your work, but here's the thing they miss. They don't actually connect with the visitor's problem. They don't give them a clear what to do next. They end up talking at people, not with them.
And this quote just nails the consequence, doesn't it? I mean, picture this. A potential customer lands on your site. They came from Google or maybe a social media post. They're interested, but they start scrolling, they read a few lines, and they just don't see the answer they're looking for. There's no obvious next step. So, what do? They hit the back button. And just like that, poof, that lead is gone, probably forever.
And here's the really crucial part. This isn't just about losing one visitor. No, the real cost is that it puts a giant handbrake on your growth. Because when your website isn't doing any of the heavy lifting, guess who has to? You do, or your team does. Every single lead, every question needs a personal, manual follow-up. That is simply not a scalable way to grow a business.
Okay, but it's not all bad news. Don't worry, there is a clear, actionable way out of this trap. We're going to pivot now from the problem to the solution. And it's a 5-step framework that's designed to completely transform your website into that salesperson we've been talking about.
All right, this is the core of the whole thing, so let's break it down. Step 1, your headline needs to be a promise. Seriously. It's not just a title, it's a one-sentence promise that you're going to solve their problem right away. Next, step 2, you have to build credibility, and you have to do it fast. Like before they even have to scroll. We're talking client logos, a killer testimonial, a big stat, something that screams, we get results. Okay, step 3 is all about smart calls to action, or CTAs. Please, stop using a boring contact us button. Instead, try something specific and valuable. Like book a free strategy call or download the guide. It makes a world of difference. Then we get to step 4, automation. This is where the magic really happens. Someone fills out a form, they should get an instant helpful response, not 2 days later. This starts the conversation while they're still hot. And finally, step 5, you've got to track the full funnel. I don't mean just counting how many people filled out a form. I mean tracking how many of those people actually became customers. That's the only way you'll know if your website is actually making you money.
So what happens when you actually put all this into practice, especially that automation piece? Well, this is the payoff. This is where you start getting your time back. And more importantly, you start seeing real, measurable growth.
And the benefits here are super tangible. First off, your website starts turning visitors into actual qualified leads, all on its own. You don't have to lift a finger. Second, you create this smooth, consistent journey for your customers, from the very first ad they see all the way to their first conversation with you. And third, and this is a big one, kind of the aha moment, you finally get real insight into what's actually driving revenue. You can literally see which marketing efforts are bringing in your best clients. That means you can do more of what works and stop throwing money away on what doesn't.
When you get right down to it, it all comes down to this one powerful idea. Your website is an asset that's available to the entire world, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It should be working for you that whole time. It should be generating leads and booking meetings even when you're completely offline. It should be working while you sleep, period.
All right, so we've talked about the problem, that whole passive brochure thing, and we've laid out the 5-step plan for building an active salesperson. Now I want to turn it back to you for a second.
After everything we've gone over, I want you to ask yourself one simple question. Right now, today, is your website a brochure or is it a salesperson? Because the answer to that question really determines everything. It decides if your website is just another expense or if it's one of your most powerful tools for growth. The real question is, what are you going to do about it?